So of course, two weeks after I record the first Overlord deck build, out comes the update. So I guess we're redoing this. First off, for starters, we have either Lizard Attacker Conroe, Lizard Hero Undu. They basically do the same thing, only difference is Conroe isn't a guaranteed Overlord, but it is guaranteed at least a soul charge, which the new Overlord is going to need anyway. So I prefer Conroe, but you can use Undu as well. It doesn't really matter. 4 Gatling Claws. Everybody knows what Gatling Claws do, so we're going to skip that. 4 of the new heal trigger, Dragon Dancer Tara. Bind this card, choose another heal trigger from your drop zone and bind it. When it's used to G-Guard, you can counter charge or soul charge one, both of which this deck needs, kind of. It doesn't need as much soul as it does counter charge, but next up, 4 Fire Chase Dragons. I don't really use this guy, but for the times that you are going to use him, then yeah. Then you can just go any generic Flame Dragon critical trigger. Doesn't really matter. Only problem with using Dragon Dancer Tara is that she's not a Flame Dragon. But yeah, I mean, you can switch it out for a Mother Orb Dragon if you so desire, but I go for Tara because of that counter charge. Next, 4 Protect Orb Dragon, again because of the counter charge, if you have another Protect Orb in your drop zone when you Perfect Guard with him. 4 Lizard General Conroes, because you want to add an Overlord to your hand and you want counter charge. Now, you could either run 3 High Flames and 3 Lava Flows, or you can run 4 High Flames and 2 Tars, or there's a lot of different ways you can run this. How I run it, though, is I run 4 Lava Flow Dragons and either 2 Tars or 2 High Flames. So what High Flame does is when it's placed on rear guards, you can choose 2 Overlords from your drop zone, return them to deck, shuffle if you returned 1, and if you return 2, draw a card. And then it's also a free stride if it's on rear guard, so you know. Next up, I still run 4 Emperor Dragonknight Nahalims. He's your main. He's your huge hitter. He's a good card. Don't run any less than 4. 3 Berserk Lord Dragons because it's a free, not really free. It's a counterblast, retire one when your grade 4 or greater Vanguard attacks. You don't really need him. I have never, in recent memory, used his effect. It's still good to have if you're going up against Gold Paladins or something. Something that you know their field is going to be full. I run 2 bars. Again, send a Flame Dragon from your drop zone to the bottom of the deck and get 10,000 shield when it intercepts. Next up, you can either run Emod, which I don't run, or Burning Horn Evolute. Soul Blast 1, reveal an Overlord in your name, retire 1 unit in the same column as him, and then if you have a grade 4 or greater Vanguard with Overlord, he gets 2,000 for every card in the damage zone. Not as good as Nahalim, but still a fairly decent effect if you don't have a Nahalim on hand. Now here we go, the new Overlord. Dragonic Overlord, the Destiny. Just, wow. Alright, so here's the gist of his effect. Soul Blast 1, placed on Vanguard from hand, or at the beginning of your ride phase, retire anything on the field, except for the Vanguard. Obviously. When you stride, Counterblast 1, retire one of your opponent's rear guards, look at 7 cards from the top of the deck, and add an Overlord to your hand. You'll see why this is useful in a minute, other than getting stride fodder. We run 4 Legends, because if you run Spheric Lord, that's less Overlords that you get to add to your hands, and trust me, you're going to want them. You know what this does from my last deck profile, but this is your main ride. This is your main ride, right here. You can ride the Legend if you need to, but the Destiny is your main ride. Now, the G-Zone is pretty much the same. 1 Vortex Desire, 3 Titans. That's really the only thing that's the same, actually. You know, go into Vortex first, flip up a Titan, and then next time you attack, Next time you use Titan, you get an extra critical, most likely. I run 2 Novell Bog Expresses, since he's probably going to be your game ender right there. Can't guard with grade 1 or greater. No, you just can't guard with grade 1s, and the trigger effects are nullified. I run 2 Ace because it's Counterblast 2. It's very high cost, unless you have a Conroe on the field. But you know. Next, we run the new stride for Dragonic Overlord the Purge. And what you can do is you can flip one of him up, send an Overlord from your hand to the soul, and if your opponent has 4 less damage, you deal 1 damage and nullify the trigger effects. It's pretty crazy. And his Generation Break 3, the drive is equal to the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone. And you're going to be at GB3 because you're going to stride into Vortex first. I mean, come on. And there goes the microwave. Alright. The G guards are still the same. 2 Denial Griffins, Counterblast 1, retire an attacking rear guard. Defeat Flare Dragon, Counterblast 1, shove 2 Flame Dragons from drop zone to the bottom of the deck, retire all back row rear guards. And then Absalom, Counterblast 1, if their Vanguard is attacking, plus 10,000 of shield for every open rear guard. And that is it. That's really all you need right there. Again, you can modify this deck in a few ways. You can take out Berserk Lord and add a few more Burning Horns and E-mods if you so desire. You could take out Lava Flow or take out Highlander and add Tars. There's a lot of different ways you can make this deck. But this is the deck list that I've gone to, and now I will bring you card fights with this deck, so get ready for that.